Someone left me a link to a YouTuber named Camelot331 the other day. And if you don't know what happened to Camelot331, he lost his job at Gamestop. Long story short, he was there for about 11 years. He had tenure. He said he was making around maybe $16 an hour, which is a lot for a GameStop employee. And there was multiple reasons, multiple people that had a target on his back. He said there was one person that worked there, and she joked that, I'm going to get you fired. I'm going to get you fired. What led to his demise there was something incredibly silly. And it just shows, and this is a warning to a lot of you out there that are thinking about getting a job at GameStop. This is what happened. Okay. Believe it or not, someone came in, HR came in, and they pulled him to the side, and they talked to him about this claim that he was aggravating, making advances towards these females, and he kind of laughed it off because it was hilarious. And then his manager laughed, his district manager laughed it off too. So that was kind of thrown out. But that happens a lot. Okay, women have a lot of power here. If they call and say the right things, HR will come down and automatically investigate. So right there, there is that. Or you're really just not, that, but any claims. If there's any claims, certain claims, HR automatically will come down. So just goes to show, don't make a whole lot of enemies at work. And this guy didn't seem to make enemies, but just don't go out of your way to make a lot of enemies at work, because it might come back to bite you, because they might make some fraudulent calls to HR. It's crazy to think what actually led to him. And let me think what did the term they used? Time card fraud was the term. Now, this person was told to come in at 8 o'clock, and they opened at 9. He was told, he was the opening manager, he was the manager, to come in at 8 o'clock, which is standard procedure many places. Someone has to come in before the store opens to get everything ready. He was told to come in every day, as he had been doing for years, to get the store ready, to make sure all the displays look fine and everything. But he would go and he would make an action plan for the day. He would sit at what's called a manager's desk. You know what I'm saying? There's a manager of a store, then the manager has a desk. He would go sit at the desk before the doors opened, and then, he'd open the doors at 9, and he said he would pretty much just go about his day. Well, they got him for time card fraud because, get this, they had a policy that said, you have to be, you have to be in the store. Okay, you have to be in the store. You can't leave the store, or you got to clock out. Unless he said you're maybe going next door to get a vacuum cleaner. If you're in the store, you got to be clocked in. If you leave the store, you got to clock out. Well, he was told to be there at 8 a.m. every day, to be in the store for that hour. Now, they told him that since he was sitting down at his office desk, writing his action plans for the day, getting everything ready, that would be considered a break. And he was stealing time from the company. Even though he said, well, I have to be here at 8 o'clock. There has to be someone here. And I was told that I have to clock in at 8. If I'm in the store, remember, got to be on the clock. If you're in the store, got to be on the clock. But he was told he was stealing time from the company because he was sitting at his manager's desk. And he said, okay, but there's nothing to do. Like, I'm here, but there's nothing to do. The store's not open. And if you know about retail, there's not a whole lot of physical labor, really. You pretty much have to serve the customers. If there's no customers in the store, there's nothing freaking do. Nothing to freaking do. So, he was told that after he basically pleaded his case, which was rock solid, about the time card fraud, he didn't commit fraud because he had to be in the store. Like, what do you expect this guy to just stand up for an hour and, look at the wall? Because he's sitting down, he's technically on a break, even though there's nothing to do. Nothing at all. So what he did was he was told that they would consider the termination. Imagine that. Imagine being told that, okay, we're going to look over things and you got to work out the rest of your day. Okay, he's like, nah, bruh. So he handed off his keys and said, I know how these things work. I'm basically tenure. I'm making a lot of money. You want to get somebody in here making, $4-5 less than me, so that's a huge savings for GameStop. But what he did was he actually exposed what had been going on in GameStop and probably a lot of different other places, which is if you're making so much money, They're going to look at ways to cut cost. Just across the board. It's just not GameStop. This happens a lot of different places. But yeah, so he walked out, and I think that's pretty crappy. So I will give the warning to anyone out there. There's multiple reasons probably not to, look at GameStop as a career. If it's just maybe a side job or something, but look into whatever company you're looking to work for. Looking to see if there's a whole lot of shadiness going on. I'm happy to work for a company that doesn't do things like that. Pretty much, if you're going to get let go, you're not going to be laid off. You're going to get let go because something actually happened, or you did something to warrant you being let go. So yeah, that's kind of a sad story, but there's a silver lining. The silver lining is he has a Patreon, so he'll make a whole lot of money back there. So I'm sure his little sad story actually maybe helped pump up his Patreon numbers. See, I couldn't leave that out there. Couldn't leave that out.